Jungle. Audio Jungle.
Elections
Mhm.
after forcing the Rhodesian regime to go for elections, which were one man, one vote. So the movement yake iri kupusha, but where is the political side? Ndo pachona patoda kunzwisisa. That's number one. Kuisa regime iri kutonga kuti ikwanise kuita agree to your grievance inofana kunge yaiswa pakona. You have quoted kuti 2008 the country was ungovernable. Nyika government yanga isina mari, kwakuine cholera, and a lot of things they were happening. But if you look into this situation right now, ZANU-PF has money. How are you going to put it on corner? Yekuti it agree to maybe ma reforms auri kuda kuti ukwanise kuzo campaigna or ukwanise kuzoenda for my elections. Ndo patoda kunzwisisa ipapo. Zvekuti a movement, we need to make a conducive environment. Yes, but you need to put that regime at the corner for it to agree, for it to accept to talk to you, for them to reform. That's number one. Number two, if he is not using the parliament, if he's not using the law, pananga chitanzi munyika mtemo hausi kushanda, but at the same time tozoenda ku constitution. Let's be honest here. ZANU-PF iri kutotonga and mutemo vanoushandisa, and if we are to go into another way of maybe fighting or protest, vanhu vanongourawa because hatipiwe license yekuprotesta. So there must be a mechanism that will make ZANU-PF come to the table and talk. Ndo mechanism yatoda kunzwa iyoyo from Chamisa. Is he working with the people in ZANU-PF? What are the means that he is going to use to make ZANU-PF come on the table to talk about the reforms, to talk about or whatever the transitional government or GNU, whatever, but government yes ZANU-PF, it has to be on the table. Ndo pachina patoda kunzwisisa before we even start of saying the ground has to be people, they have to be conscientized about what. Ndo my two cents dzangu dzandoda kufunza.
Can I answer him, Komajet?
Okay, pindura yenyu mukoma.
Yeah, movement. Totanga pa abvunza kuti movement. How is it going to go to an election?
Mhm.
I find that active citizen daiva kutoziva kuti movement. How does it work? Inogreba say power, which means now we have got an active citizens movement. Komajet. Ikagadzirisa zvinhu, it transforms itself to a political power, party. And we can go through history of MDC, ZANU-PF, ZAPU.
But mukoma, are you expecting people to just know this? To just know?
That's why I say. That's why I say.
Apana here some form of education in front of kupinda vanhu kuti vanhu vanyatsonzwisisa some of these things, because some of these questions they are arising out of a genuineness of not knowing.
Exactly.
Kutora kana sindino the movement is not away. Vanhu vangojaira kana even if you want to try and explain it in the concept the movement for democratic change. Yeah, 1999 2000. Some people just understood that as a political party.
Yes.
Whatever work that went behind the scenes, some of
Yes.
them are not clued on to kuti what is it that happened, but they just know kutizo pane party yakalonchwa muna 1999 which was called the Movement for Democratic Change.
Exactly.
And I hear you when you're saying kuti citizens have to be active And part of the being an active citizen is understanding some of these things. But
Yeah,
for you to get to a point of understanding, you need the knowledge.
absolutely.
Ehe. Kuti vanhu
Then,
vadzidziswe kuti vanhu vachiziva manje kuti if you're saying kuti we are a movement,
yeah,
what does that entail? Zvinorevei? And what are people expected to do within that movement? And beyond the movement, what then remains the role of these citizens beyond that movement as well?
yeah.
So there are so many questions that are coming. I know you are saying the people mustn't be asking questions, but these naturally come, Mkoma, and we cannot stop people from asking questions.
Hey, another one, Yekuti Chamisa, if he's working with ZANU, how can Chamisa come and tell you, Kuti, I'm working with ZANU, Komajit? Is that possible?
Right.
Mukoma,
Pakaitika,
As
wait,
muri
wait,
kutaura
wait.
as is that possible?
muri kutaura kuti,
Ngoma
for
20,
instance, you have
20,
said the
2017,
movement.
2017 pakaitika coup Ngoma Jets. Takamboziva iri pakaitika matalks kana takazonzwa nawo.
Okay, you are saying
Yes.
good is
Kune zvimwe zvinhu
Panogona find something theoretical behind the scenes, but we are not yet,
exactly.
at that stage of knowing.
Exactly. Another thing, Chamisa can't go to ZANU PF or no negotiator to reform. That is not a reform. A reform, ZANU PF has to come, it is not choice. Or either faction coming, it is not choice. Ukaona Chamisa
Right.
kuenda kuZANU for reform, that is not a reform. Go.
But that's the question that I'm asking. That
Yeah,
for ZANU PF to come, for
yes,
ZANU PF to come
yes,
and make a reform, it means there is a pressure that these
absolutely.
people have been, that
Yeah,
they are under.
you are right.
And for now, what pressure can Chamisa give? He's out of parliament.
It's not about
Number one.
Chamisa, my brother.
Listen first.
Yeah,
Listen
I mean,
first.
I'm coming.
So ndakangoti ndingopindura kuna kune vari kutaura kuti angojeti ndo patine problem yezimbabweans we want
Right,
to be
okay.
toda kuti was spoon fed everything you're asking Chamisa ngandipe strategy
Imagine.
are you not a Zimbabwean? You are a Zimbabwean as well. Come up with the strategy. That's why it's called the movement. Your input is needed as a Zimbabwean. What can you do to put pressure on ZANU PF so that we get what we all want? Chamisa is not Zimbabwe.
Absolutely.
Chamisa is just a leader. Anototungamira iwewe. Saka iwewe as a citizen, what are you going to do in your own space so that we can affect change? Zvauri kuda iwewe as a citizen. Why are you saying ndakamira Chamisa? Unoda kumirira kuti ndiye Zimbabwe.
The idea is that apana at akamirira Chamisa.
Ndozvawataura iwe.
No, the question is no. You are failing to understand.
No, you are the one who's not understanding the whole thing about the movement.
You put Chamisa wrote a memo. Vision what's 2026. Saka, in that vision, that's where we want to understand. What are we going to do as Zimbabweans to put pressure using the same vision, the same way that is writing?
What do you think you must do to put pressure? What do you think, as an individual, as a Zimbabwean, what do you think we must go about it to put pressure? So that we don't wait for Chamisa. What do you think? You are a man too, you can think. So tell us your thoughts, tell us your ideas. How do you think you can go about it? Why do you have to wait for someone to come up with those ideas when you are also a capable Zimbabwean who wants change in his own country, who wants a better government, who wants to be heard? So what do you think we must do so that we can be heard as Zimbabweans? Why do you have to give someone everything to say he must do it? You are also a Zimbabwean. It's your right to stand up. It's your right to demand what you think is right for you and for us as well.
I think you are
now think again. You think and
you are failing to understand because
no, you are the one.
I guys, Mirai.
In the conversation,
no, wait now. Mirai. We want to have a conversation here. Kuti pasuri kunzwisiswa nemunhu munhu anzwisise. Yes, imimi muri kunzwisisa what this is all about, but mumwe munhu haasi kunzwisisa. Saka if you want somebody to understand I think we need to explain to them bit by bit kuti no mukoma, this is what is being entailed here. Kuti zvinhu zviri kureva so zviri kureva so zviri kureva so that zvoita poita kunge ngatirege kutange toda kumunyararidza kuti asamubvunze mubvunzo yaainawo. Munhu ngaadzidziswe azive kuti what is it that we are dealing with and what is it that we are talking about. I think if we come, from that, premise, we can be in a position, to help out each other. Because in Nini, my understanding of a movement represents something that is bigger. It's different from a political party, because with a movement, there is shared responsibility, there is shared consciousness, there is a collective awakening to the realities, that are existing. And we are talking of a broad coalition of people who agree on a direction. It is not limited to formal membership. There are no structures, or there's no that rubbish to do with party, bureaucracy. It is just, energy. It is just identity. It is just a purpose. People coming together. It's not about having an office. It's not about having a title. It's not about having a position, because it is not a political party. It is a movement that is aimed at creating the necessary conditions that are needed for a power shift to take place. So this is why you hear the clarion call being made to professionals, students, vendors, the diaspora community, the unions, the churches, the informal networks, whoever you think may share the vision will become part and parcel of that movement. And in more, it is one decentralized, and it involves community organizing, local initiatives being put in place, people doing